All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So there was a request on yesterday's weed video to cover a few other weed stocks that I normally don't. So that will be the point of this video. I have to start with Tilray and CGC, okay? If you watch my videos, you know I call Tilray the king of the charts, right? By no means do I think it's fundamentally the best or anything like that, but yeah, that's my opinion. I've had several of you actually disagree with me, give me your opinions of which one you think is, and look, I'm telling you, I love a healthy disagreement. That's how people learn, baby. You know what I mean? So, Rami, I saw your note. I'm telling you, I'm about to reply to you, but yeah, never hesitate to disagree with me, and like everyone wins when we do it healthy. You know what I mean? So I'm going to start with those two, but the focus will be ACB, CRON. I wanted to touch on Curaleaf, and I forgot the fourth one. OGI. I think it was OGI, if I'm not mistaken. So those will be the ones that I really want to cover more on, but again, I'm going to touch on these, and look, I will very much start with, I expected way more today. I did. I think I fell for one of the biggest traps, and look, I'm only human, right? But yeah, you can't get too excited off one candle. And yeah, if you watched my video, you know I was excited yesterday, right? I was, but confirmation's king, and yeah, this wasn't the confirmation we wanted. I imagine that's going to trickle to the rest. Listen, I'm still relatively okay, but we're going to talk about a couple things for sure on that, all right? But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good, or like I said, if you disagree, comment bad. It's all good, baby, all right? Because anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, and for real, just being here, I am so grateful for it all right? So let's get into it, and the very first thing I gotta say is, yeah, I expected more today. I can't pretend I didn't. I'm a little surprised on a number of things, right? We actually opened so much closer to this $2 line than I thought. I assumed we were going to open above where we closed yesterday. I assumed we were going to try to make a little bit of a way up here. I actually thought we were going to be coming like, yeah, 208, 212. Like, yeah, I am surprised we did this, but look, it's actually the same comments I made on GameStop. It's the same comments I just kind of dropped on Mullen as well. You can't get too excited about a single candle, especially when you're looking at a line that just it's been a difficulty. We haven't even remotely touched it, and in a bit, right? Like all of 2 months basically, right? So you know, I was excited. I saw the uptrend forming. Man, I got excited on GameStop as well. I did see a headline about Germany legalization vote not happening. I think I might have saw another headline. Again, I have seen all of this be a technical play, right? So overall, I'm still kind of letting the technicals lead it. And like, yeah, look, we're still over the 8 and the 20, right? So in some ways, like that's not bad. The problem kind of is, look, I've been a little wrong on how the markets have been moving, okay? I feel like the last like 2.5 weeks I've been just a little bit off on NASDAQ especially, and then really not too much better on the S&P 500, okay? I've expected this thing to come down to the 20 moving average for a bit now, and if you haven't been watching, NASDAQ already did it. It didn't close down here, but you can see we've slipped, we've kind of done that little V bounce, right? Dow Jones, again, I flashed it a few times on these weed sectors. Dow Jones was flying up, right? Like this thing's still coming back here. We're not even talking about the 20 on that one, right? But there's a decent there's no unison within the big three. And I generally don't like that. I like all three of them, the three being the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow Jones, to do the same thing, all right? And I think that's doing a little bit of some funkiness to the market overall. I'm still, and again, if over the 8 and the 20 are key rules. Breaking moving averages as you go are key rules, right? Like, stay above these two lines, make a reattempt at that 50 is kind of the goal. Look, obviously I would love it to be as high as like 197 tomorrow. I would be really okay, because where is the 50 actually at? Yeah, it's at 192. It's probably going to go down again tomorrow, right? I would be really cool with a close of 193, 194. Just to get me over the 50. The last thing I want to do is come here or worse. 183 would be scary, and obviously I don't want to come down sub 180, right? It's sad, right? Like, I was growingly bullish this little moment. We got two nice candles. I get a little bit of a slap back in the face today. I also, just like I said, I remember echoing the game chart a little bit, which was kind of that pop drop, hopefully will stabilize, right? So I think there's a little bit of that in the back of my head right now, and that's why I'm kind of like, just get me over it. Hopefully we'll kind of pick back up. But yeah, I think the break in index unison, that was a little hard to say, but yeah, I think that is a very important factor to, like, you can't underestimate that. I'm really disappointed in the volume outlook from yesterday to today, or yeah, Monday. Basic, and I'm using just green as a complete buy day and red as a complete sell day, right? But basically, yesterday 23 million people bought it. Today 22 million people sold it. People weren't as comfortable holding it. You know, that's something I generally like. I don't like that, right? Like, if today the candle looked like this, but volume was like down here, I might have accepted it a little better, because I would have at least said, hey, look, over the last few days, volume's been doing that, and it seems like people are holding. We just gave up most of yesterday. Yesterday was the best day of volume in a while, right? So that's not the offset I want. You know what I mean? It's all about the 50 right now. We need to get over the 50. We need to let it hold. Just don't lose the 8 and the 20, baby. Just stay above those lines. Let the market kind of figure itself out. I don't really know what other word to say, and hopefully good things will come. So, not too much to talk about on the weekly just yet. I don't think so. Yeah, 177 is an important number, right? I said don't slip under 180, right? So I think that's a good place to say. CGC is gonna be in the same chapter, because again, same kind of comments. Look, I think in a lot, like, I'll be honest, I don't really remember my video from yesterday, all right? So, like, I actually really hope what I'm saying is accurate, but I gotta believe I talked about 69 cents being a possible place for this to come, right? Because, again, I'm not pretending I wasn't bullish. I actually thought there was going to be more. I know I talked about green, red. Like, I was for sure expecting more, and I'm not taking that away. But I really hope I talked about both sides of the coin. And generally speaking, I would have talked about this. I don't know if I talked about the 62-cent line. Obviously, the wick came close, right? But yeah, I think a lot of the Tilray comments come here. Same volume thing too. Look, it's a little bit better. Don't get me wrong. We were in the 60s yesterday. We're at least in the 50s today, right? So we basically held 20%, but 20% isn't even that much, right? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I think there was just a little bit more selling today than ideal. Again, we are over the 4 still, right? But sorry, I'm thinking real quick. That's what we need tomorrow. 70 cents. We got to get, where are you? Are you at 70? You're at 71. 69 or 70 cents is what we need tomorrow. That is what we need tomorrow. Otherwise, yeah, we might be coming back into this like 62-cent realm, which would not be good. That'd be a roughly another 10% loss today. Today was rough on CGC and and Tilray. Today was rougher than I expected on both of them. You know, I was excited. I actually, again, I was bullish going into today, right? So I can't pretend that. Yeah, still a single day. As much as I said, don't get excited from one. Let's not panic just yet on the one. I think we'll see. We'll see some more tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's a good thought. So I'm gonna move into CRON. Again, CRON is not one I normally cover. I actually, someone else mentioned CRON on Stock Twits. I forgot exactly what day it was, but I was bullish on CRON as well, right? You can see it actually got over a couple lines. I don't remember when the last time I drew the lines, right? But this thing has been trying to. It's been trying to, especially right here, right? Because you can see all the lines are right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It was trying to get them over, trying to get them over, trying to get over, trying to get over, finally gets to confirm, right? And I actually thought the confirm was going to keep going. Again, the confirm echoed CGC, it echoed Tilray, right? Like if I covered CRON yesterday, I would have been bullish, right? Like I am not pretending anything otherwise. The same I was wrong comments on the last two are echoing here, all right? Again, just in case if you fast forwarded, I do want to just call out the SP500. It looks like SP500 might be losing the 8 and coming down to the 20, right? To me, weed stocks look like an S&P 500 company. They look like a Dow Jones company. They have nothing to do with tech, so I don't really flash the NASDAQ much, right? But yeah, it looks like SPX, like I said, a little bit more drastically is holding on for dear life to that line, right? So maybe that's doing a little bit of it. End of the day, yeah, when the big two don't do well, so will everything else, right? And it's it's why the first two are in its own chapter. I genuinely believe there's only a handful of stocks, all right? I actually think Tilray, CGC, and SNDL are the big 1, 2, 3, okay? Again, has nothing to do with fundamentals, has nothing to do with the financials, has nothing to do with the companies themselves. It's just the volume and the charts, all right? But if those two that I just flashed aren't going to do well, it's hard to believe anything else is going to happen with this one and the other ones I'm going to cover, right? So I often say it, and I'm going to say it here, and I think it's a good place to end. Even if all your money is in CRON and you absolutely hate Tilray and CGC because you're a stronger fundamental than I am, you have to look at those two. It's something I genuinely believe. Feel free to disagree with me, right? I'm more than happy to have a good convo about it. But yeah, so I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I would have gotten yesterday wrong if I made a video. I'm all that's true. We're still over the 5 lines. And look, this thing has a very, very strong support at like 195 to 194. It should be very difficult to lose those. Obviously, I don't want to go any lower than 201. I want to stay over the 8 and 20, but you know, there's places for this thing to get caught, and I'm also still not a crazy, like, I don't think the market's gonna crash just yet unless we see some crazy news stuff. You know what I mean? But watch the big ones. Let the sector follow as it really likes to do. You know what I mean? So that's a quick CRON right there. OGI. Let's come into OGI. Again, look, if I made this video yesterday, I would have, this one I would have maybe had a little bit better of a chance to get accurate, all right? First of all, I always say you need confirmation, right? You need confirmation, and if you're gonna break a line, you need to follow through the next day. Because just look at this 100 moving average line for the moment, right? We get over it, we can't confirm. We open over it, we didn't even get over it, right? So this was the first real good one since that one. Even as I zoom out, man, yeah, the last time we really touched this thing was February, right? So you can't underestimate the difficulty of the 100 moving average. So maybe I would have been able to get this one right because I would have at least said, hey, you got to confirm. Maybe that's a lot easier to say with this red candle I'm seeing in front of me, right? But yeah, it's a little disappointing that 139 didn't hold. I would have loved to have seen it close right there. I actually don't like because it looks like, oh man, This is hard to tell. Give me a second. All right. I'm going to say we didn't close under it. Obviously, we're on it, right? You can see in the box over there, the 100 average is 135. That's clearly where we closed today. The goal would be to come back up to 139 tomorrow. That's what we need to see. It needs to basically get there for me to hopefully think that we're going to reattempt. Look, break the 100 and it's going to want to go to the 200. Maybe it'll get stopped somewhere along the way right there at 160. I think 160 will actually be a decent resistance. But yeah, look, I would have said this thing's going to want to go to 160 or it's not going to confirm and come down. Like, knock on wood, I hope I would have said that if I covered it, right? Volume's a little on the lower side, but this single outlier away, I thought it was going to look a little better. Yeah, we're not breaking that 50 average line very well. We need to be in the millions on the volume daily for sure. This outlier messed some good things up right there. I obviously have no idea what happened that day. Maybe it was earnings or something. I don't know. But again, kind of the same CRON comments. There are 4 moving averages that should hold any sort of drop if it comes, right? I doubt that we would go any lower than 120. I hope we don't lose the 20 moving average and don't go much lower than, let's call it 125, 127, right? If you want to be accurate. But OGI, again, even if you were not in Tilray and CGC, you should take a peek there because I genuinely believe all other weed stocks will follow that one. All right. We talked about CRON. We talked ACB. Oops. What did I click? ACB. Oh, whoa. Damn. Okay, again, this is one where I'm sure it's easier to say this in hindsight. I hope I would have said this if I covered it. First off, I know I would have echoed the strength of that candle. The high of the day was 52. The close of the day was 52. That's a big, bad, strong. When I say bad, I mean good. Like, that's a big, beautiful, like, that's a candle and a half right there. All right, so it definitely smashes multiple moving averages. In some ways, this one smashes multiples on its own, right? So, oh man, I might have gotten ACB wrong, actually. Ooh, man, look at the volume. Oh man. I am shocked the 50 didn't hold. I'm shocked we closed that low. There's a resistance right on the line pretty much too. Damn. I would have gotten I actually don't think I would have gotten this correct. I don't. Wow, man. Look, I am a firm believer, and I'm really repeating the same words right now, so it's probably really annoying for someone that's watched the whole thing, but I do believe that if Tilray and CGC went up today, all of these would have too. I do believe that if this one went up, I don't know if the other ones would have. You know, like that is what I believe. I think that the strength on those first two carry the others more than anything would carry the others. You know what I mean? I hope that made sense. It sounded good in my head, but this one's a rough one. This one actually is a rough one, and I think it echoes the fact that like the beautifulness up here, like that's not as beautiful, I guess, but it was close. That's not bad. That's like there are times when what looks like a juicy setup doesn't hit, and I do believe you can get answers from other tickers. That's actually what I want to end here, but for real, I would have gotten ACB wrong. I don't know if I really gave a lot of value on this one. If I didn't answer any of the ACB questions you wanted to hear, throw them in the comments. I swear, I feel like I talked more about what I would have said. Let me do this. We must close at 50 cents tomorrow. That's an important thing. We cannot go below 47 cents tomorrow. That's at least the value right there. Man, I feel bad. Curaleaf. Where's Curaleaf? Dude, I'm telling you, I'm lagging here. What's happening? Sorry. Ooh, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, Curaleaf. This isn't bad right here. Now look, this is not a confirmation candle. Now it's not a doji. It's actually not a doji, but I would need a bigger candle because look, yesterday knocked out 3 moving averages. It took out the 8, took out the 100, and it took out the 50. It put us over all 5 moving averages. It put us in this nice little sea of red, red, red that wants to like crack 4. This one's interesting, but I needed more than this candle. The volume wasn't there either. Yeah, it was a green day, but we couldn't get over the 50 line. I wouldn't be surprised if we come back down to 377, maybe as low as like 370. Curaleaf though, like I said, there's it looks like it wants to get to 410 actually. Oh, this one looks good, and it's going to make me actually flash MSOS. I wasn't going to cover that one, but I want to look at MSOS. Damn, am I going to do TrueLeaf on this one too? I'm already at 20 minutes. Let me see. Where are we on the weekly? It's an interesting weekly. This weekly is kind of saying I want to come to 480. I think that's a little too aggressive. 440 is another 10%. Yeah, there might be a 10 to 20% swing coming into Curaleaf. Again, I believe you, even though Tilray and CGC are Canadian tickers, have nothing to do with multi-state operator Curaleaf, I still believe, and clearly I'm wrong because those went down and this one went up, right? But yeah, I still echo it, and obviously I'm saying it loosely. It's not like this like set in stone hard rule, but yeah, even this I'm calling an outlier, not I'm wrong, right? But yeah, clearly this one's a little bit of the opposite. And that's actually why I wanted to look at a couple more of the US tickers to see how wrong I actually might be. Yeah, interesting though. This one obviously looks like the best. Let me move into MSOS real quick. Come on, baby. MSOS, it looks roughly the same. That makes sense. And then I guess True. No? Is there? Oh, dude, I don't know how to spell TrueLeaf. TrueLeaf, right? TR. Oh man, that's so embarrassing. It's TrueLeaf, is it not? Wow, who am I talking to as well, right? What happens if I just put leaf? Damn. Well, that's embarrassing. I don't know. I don't know that one. I'm sure I get a good joke in the comment, and then hopefully I'll add it to the next one. US tickers look interesting. That's an interesting doji. Obviously, after that candle, looks a lot like the Curaleaf one as well. What is Cresco a US one? I don't really know. Damn, interesting. That one. I'm thinking of the Leisha stocks. Is it not TrueLeaf? Wow, what am I doing wrong? I have no idea. It's interesting to see the US ones holding better than the Canadian ones. Because, like, I'm looking at this, like, again, hindsight, right? Like, is this confirmation right there? Damn, I'm, like, starting to wonder about a couple things as I'm, like, looking at this. Interesting video. I'm glad I was asked to make these. I obviously don't look at a lot of weed stocks, right? I only look at a few of them. We'll see what happens after this video. I think I learned some good stuff, and yeah, hopefully that adds some value to the other videos. So let me know your thoughts and opinions. What happened to TrueLeaf, people? How am I not finding it? Did it get bought or something? Am I just that bad a speller? Oh my gosh, I have no idea. Hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Thank you.